Hello everybody, this is Mr. Lu. I think today's topic is extremely important for everybody. So I think there are just too many victims that's fallen prey to scams. And nowadays, the level of scams sophistication has gone up leaps and bounds that I think we have to assume that we will get scammed if we don't do something about it. So in my precaution for myself, I'm going to do a series of things. Now, how I got about this act together is largely because I had the privilege of meeting a very senior police officer in the Singapore Police Force who's a friend of mine, and he says that the amount of money being scammed has gone up significantly across the years and even now as well. And I thought that with all the protection and education, that's given to Singaporeans and PRs and residents of Singapore, I thought that the amount of scams have gone down. I've always assumed that everybody will get scammed except myself, okay? And unfortunately, the statistics has proven that, it is not just, old and ignorant, elders that get scammed. Young people get scammed, old people get scammed, the wise get scammed, whatsoever. And the nature of the scams have evolved sophisticatedly that we have to assume if we do not protect ourselves, we will be scammed. This is the assumption I'm taking for myself, and I think it is probably one of the safest approach. And I really want to share with you what are the steps I'm taking. You do not need to follow exactly the same steps, but not taking any steps at all to protect your wealth, I think is putting yourself at very high risk. I think the first act of protection that everybody needs to do is to first assume that you will be scammed, okay? And I think this is very important assumption. Stop thinking that you're so smart, okay? You're not vulnerable and you know what to do to protect yourselves. The level of sophistication has gone up by leaps and bounds. Now with AI, I don't know what can happen that can cause myself to be scammed. And I certainly don't want my hard-earned money, my invested money to be scammed in any way. Now, a lot of people assume that as long as I don't fall prey to love scam, I don't fall prey to strange phone calls coming whatsoever, will not be scammed. But I think that the safest thing I could do is to make sure I park my money, in safe places, lock them up. And I think this is the one thing I'm going to do today, and I'll show you what are the steps I'm taking. You need not follow exactly what I do, but I think, my strong advice to everybody is you must take some steps to protect your own funds and your own wealth, and stop thinking that you will be safe. So the next part is I'm going to share with you 2 steps that I'm going to take to protect myself. So number 1 is I'm going to money lock some of my funds inside my bank account. Okay, so some of you all, who don't know how to do it, just watch how I do it. I'm going to be very transparent with my own bank account to you. And the second thing is I'm going to park money out of my bank account into an Endowers account, which I think is a lot safer. And let me describe what I've done, and you decide whether what you want to do with your own money. Let's watch on, shall we? The next thing I'm going to do is to show you how I use my OCBC app to lock up my funds. And also I'm going to also take the same time to park out some money out of my OCBC into my Endowers account to put into high yield funds that are very safe. So these are what I can do. So to start off, I'm going to log in. Okay. So to do a money lock on your account so that scammers cannot scam your money, this is what I do. You go to money lock here, okay, click here, and then you'll tell you that the money lock detail for security, blah, 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 blah. Just make sure that if you want to unlock your money account, what you do is that you go to your ATM machine with your card and things like that. Okay, so what I do is I'll increase my lock amount. I click here, increase my lock amount, and I click here, maybe I put a $2,000 inside. Okay, done. Yep. And you'll ask you sure this is the amount you want to lock up? And I say yes, lock funds. Okay, and you double confirm again, your funds are about to lock. Lock funds cannot be used for gyro recurring payments. Make sure you got enough money in your balance to avoid late charges and fees and blah blah blah. And if you can increase your log fund amount through internet banking or OCBC app, blah blah blah, I click confirm, okay, and that's it, right? That's it, right? As simple as that. So I got a total amount of about about $2,000 more that are locked up, okay. And let's go back view account, and you see I got $2,000 account being locked up right now, okay. So this amount will be locked up, and the reason why I only lock up 2,000 is just for demonstration. And what I'll do, because this amount, this OCBC account, the amount of interest it gives is really sucks. So I'm gonna do something to increase the protection, but also increase the amount of interest I can get from this, right? So this is one thing we all money in your account, okay, lock up money in account. So let's go to the next part of it. However, the interest that you get from time deposit right now with our banks really sucks, okay. And the last I checked was, if you lock up your funds for a few months, 0.something% is like, right? So unless you lock it up for 2 years, maybe you increase to 1.something%. So I called my relationship manager in Endow. They do have some funds that are low risk, and the returns are higher, not significantly higher, but higher. And you have liquidity, you can draw anytime, right? So, and I think the most important thing is that if scammers want to scam, they will have to scam two accounts. They have to scam my Endow account and then scam my OCBC account, which is actually quite tough to do. So I think there's added layer of protection. So this is what I'm gonna do and show everybody how I did it. So once I log into my Endow account, okay, this is the dashboard, and you can click here, which is explore. Now explore, then you click build for you, okay, build for you, to make sure that you can get access to the funds I want. And then I chose cash because cash is the one that's highly risky. And I scroll all the way down to Fund Smart, okay, and I click Fund Smart, and I use SGD cash because that's the one I want to protect. So I called my relationship manager and asked him, what are options for me that higher return but low risk of default, and that's of all the funds that was recommended to me, this one stands out, which is this one. I'm going to scroll to it. It's called Lion Global SGD Money Fund, okay, and the gross yield is about 2.74%, okay, and I think the net probably is about 2.5 or something like that, okay. So I'm going to go into this fund, okay. I'm going to click here. So this fund is a Lion Global Money Market Fund. The risk is very low, and you look at the holdings, right? They mainly put money into fixed deposit, MAS bills, and things like that. So these are government bills. It's very safe. So I like this, so I'm gonna buy this fund, okay. My time horizon, it actually this is probably not that important. I'll just click 2 years, and then my risk tolerance, I think I can stomach low risk, okay. And finally, how much do I intend to put in? Probably about, let's say we put $100,000, okay. So I put $100,000 one time, and I click OK. And it says here, this is how you put your money to work, blah 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 blah, $100,000. Okay, I click next. They ask me, how do I fund it, right? How do I fund it? So this is where I will use a cash to do it. You say accept all the terms and conditions. All right, okay, the goal is set, okay, nice work, okay, and done. So next I have to fund my investment. So I will put money into my Endow account, okay, and review the action. Make sure you add money into your SGD account, okay. So this part is done, okay. So right now investment value is 0 because I haven't funded it. So what I have to do, I have to go back to OCBC and fund it. So let's do that, okay. So back to the home page of Endow, there's this thing called transfer. I'm going to hit transfer. I'm going to click deposit cash, okay, and I'm going to use PayNow to do it. So there's a QR code here. you tap to save, okay, and you just tap to save QR code. I think it's already saved already. This part is done. Okay, so I'll go back to my OCBC right now. So right now I'm back to my OCBC account. Here there will be a scan and pay. I'm going to click scan and pay. I'm going to import, and then I click the PayNow QR code, and then I put $100,000 inside. Okay, and I click OK, and next, and then I slide to UOB Kay Hian. Take note, you are not paying Endowers, it's sending to UOB Kay Hian. And then there is a OTP, so I'm going to put OTP here, excuse me, and the OTP is coming in, okay, and okay, so $100,000 has been transferred to UOB Kay Hian, which is the holding financial institution for all Endowers investments. So this is done, right? So I log out and that's it, right? So what I've just done is I've put money into my Endowers account, use about 2-point-something%, not bad, 2.4, 2.3, 2.5, whatever the number is. That's irrelevant to me because the number is very small. But what is most important is that that part is kind of locked up very tightly. So if someone will have to hack my Endowers account, the money will go into my OCBC account anyway, right? Then you have to hack 2 accounts, which is kind of difficult. So you cannot just simply change your address with your bank account with Endowers to someone else's account, right? The customer service there will do a check on you and things like that. So I deem that to be quite safe. Scams happen at an industrial scale right now across the world, and Singapore is one of the most scam countries in the world. The amount of scam victims has risen quite significantly, and the amount that has been scammed has risen very significantly, and now in the billions every year. So I think it's important for us to protect ourselves. These are the steps I've taken. You may have your own way of protecting your money, but I think it's very important for me to do what I've done. There may be other ways you can figure out, but I think what I've done so far, putting money in the money lock feature, and also parking money into funds outside our bank is also something I deem more safe than to leave it vulnerable in a bank account. And you know, this it doesn't mean that even with this step is foolproof. If someone, you know, managed to brainwash you or your loved ones into believing that, you know, you should transfer money to them, then no matter how you try to protect your account is useless. What we can do so far is to put up additional barriers and obstacles to ensure the transfer of money is safer. It is one thing to be able to make your hard-earned money through your salaries, your bonuses, and through investments, but to see it all gone in one terrible wipeout, you know, is something most of us cannot take. So I strongly urge everybody to adopt safe measures to protect yourself so that you won't fall victim to some of these scams. And last and foremost is that, you know, for those people who are not sure what to do, I strongly urge you to go down to the banks and ask the bank officers to help to work with you to figure out how to protect your funds from being scammed. Okay, this is Mr. Lu. Hopefully no one within our community will get scammed, and I hope to help you to continue to grow your wealth day by day and make sure we don't get scammed. So this is also a disclaimer. Although I'm a small shareholder of Endowers have not remunerated me anything for this video, and you know, I'm sure there are other robo-advisor or app that financial companies that can do something equivalent for your funds as well. So do explore all options as well. I'm just used to Endowers, so I'm using Endowers.